So going to do some softball Pilates today. So first of all, take the ball and just place it just where your belly button is. And then just here with your tailbone, tuck your tailbone slightly under. Put in the pelvic floor. Put in the transverse abdominis, just holding in. Take 100%. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Find the length at the back of the neck. Slow release, pelvic floor, transverse abdominis. And the ball should come away from your tummy button a little bit. So you again, sideways on. So, and again, drawing in. And then just slowly release. Try not to hold your breath. Put in pelvic floor. Put in the transverse abdominis. Just check that you're not turning up the tailbone. So just tuck your tailbone under. You're in that neutral spine. And slow release. Last one, drawing in. Try not to hold the breath. And slow release. So, pulling in now, take 50%, hold in pelvic floor, transverse abdominis. Tuck the tailbone under. If I can make it closer. Take the ball just in between the ear and the shoulder. And then you're reaching up. And you're dipping this other ear down towards this other shoulder. Stretch into the neck. And then just recenter. So shoulders down and back. And then again, lift up that arm up towards the ceiling. Feel the stretch between the shoulder and the ear. And recenter. And again lift. Keep drawing in your core muscles. Last one. And lift. And then recenter. Let's go to the other side. So place the ball between the ear and the shoulder, lifting up the arm. Just check that you're not twisting in the body here. Breathing out, lift up the arm. Breathing in, recenter. And again, left. And center. 2 more. Should get that stretch in the neck. And last one. Try not to hold the breath. And then recenter. Let's go back to the other side. Take the ball in an elbow and into your side. So start center, shoulders are back, draw in the core, and then we're just going to slide that hand down towards the side of the knee and then recenter. So we're almost rolling onto the ball. Try and keep the shoulders relaxed. Breathing out, rolling down. And again, and down. 4 more. Into that side bend. Rolling down. Try and keep the hips still if you can. 2. And then last one. Slowly release other side. Same position. Inner elbow into your side. Now check that you're not leaning forwards or you're not leaning back. Your shoulders are relaxed. They're down and back. Breathing out, we're sliding the hand down towards the side of the knee. Soften the jaw. Check that you're not twisting in any way. If you've got a mirror, it's quite good to do it in front of the mirror. 4 more. Keep drawing in the core. Check you're still engaging with that pelvic floor. And last one. Still working with the side bend. So this time the ball is underneath the hand. Again, shoulders back. Drawing the core. Check that you're not out of neutral. So just draw in your tailbone. Reaching up over into the side bend. We're going to get a little bit further down now. Going down towards the side of the knee and then lifting back up. And then coming over. Try and keep your hips still. You're just rolling your hands on the ball. Breathing out into your stretch. 4 more. And 3. And 2. Last one. And then go over to the other side. So balls underneath the hand. Take your feet about hip width here. Drawing the core, tuck the tailbone under. Shoulders are down and back. Take the side bend. Try and keep the hips still. Just slide the hand down the ball. Sometimes quite nice to always look up. So we get that spiraling of the chest towards the ceiling. You really go for that reach and that stretch. 4 more. Breathing out. And 3. And 2. Last one. Breathing out. Slowly release. So now we're going to go a little bit more with twisting and moving around the middle of the body. So, first of all, just lift the ball up to shoulder height. Take the ball into one hand. Take that ball all the way around the side of the body, as far as you can into your twist. Still looking at the ball, so working to the neck as well. Coming back to centre, ball goes up over the head. I've got the ceiling, but you can really stretch and go up onto the toes here. Coming down, back to centre, ball into other hand. Take that ball around the body. Follow it with your head, your eyes. Coming back to centre, lifting up to that full body stretch. Centre. Into that twist, breathing out. And lift. And other side. Still pulling in the pelvic floor. Still drawing that transverse abdominis in, lift. Centre. Shoulders are down and back. And lift. Centre. 2 more. Breathing out into your stretching. Last one, lift. Centre. Take it round. Coming back here to centre. A little bit more working the twist. Take the ball back on your tummy button. Shoulders are down and back, drawing the core. You can take both hands or one hand. Twist, push into the ball. Twist around. Lovely stretch on the chest. Breathing out into this. So into your twist, try and keep your hips facing forwards. Lovely upper body twist. Great release. So you could do that with 2 hands. You just keep holding on. And you can press into that ball a little bit. So if you're on the 2 hands, pressing in, having a moment in the twist. 2 more. Last one. Coming back to centre. Let's take the ball between the knees. So working that hip width. You might need to do. You might need to just squeeze the ball slightly there, and then you feel like your glutes are activating. Just work a little bit with the shoulders. So breathing in, lift. Breathing out, circle the arms around the body. Breathing in, lift at the arms. Feel the length at the back of the neck. Breathing out all the way around. So adding in, if you want, up onto the toes. Work a little bit more with balance. And around. Drawing in the core, lift. And release. 4 more, lift. And release. Take your time on these ones. Long out breaths. 2 more. Last one. Lift that full body stretch. Take it round. Take the shoulders down and back. Almost squeezing the shoulder blades together. Palms are up. Squeeze the elbows in. Still squeezing the ball a little bit so glute med's working. Breathing out. Take the hands out to the sides of the body. Breathing in back to centre. This one's your posture. It sets the scapula. Keep breathing. Feel like you're almost squeezing those shoulder blades together. 4 more. Just keep squeezing that ball a little bit wet with glute med. 2 more. And last one, keep pulling in the core. And release. Going to go to some squats now. So keep that little bit of a squeeze on the ball. Bending the knees, reaching the hands forwards. Coming down, you should still be able to see your big toes. And then rising back up. And again, coming down into your squat. And then lift. The centre of the weight comes down over the feet. Again, really good release now for lower back and through this. Strengthening the glutes. 3 more. A little bit lower now, 2 left. Last one. And then release. Arms up towards the ceiling, full body stretch. Reaching forward, so folding forwards. Engage these feet now. Soften the knees if you need to. Slowly taking that down. Into that forward fold. And then just slide the hands up the legs. Reaching up again. Breathing out, folding forwards. Pressing down into the feet. Bring it down towards the floor. Slowly uncurl. So just warming up the spine. Go 2 more. Breathing out. Coming down. Slowly uncurl. And last one. Forwards. And down. And uncurl. So finishing off our warm-up with a balance. So arms up towards the ceiling. Almost want a bit of a star shape. And we're just tilting to one side and lift up one foot. Then over to the other side. Tilt like a star and just lift. Keep drawing in the core. And again, tilt and lift. Should feel like all the muscles in the feet really engaging on this. And again. Woo. I was using the ceiling then. 3 more. Check your big toes engaging with your balance. Your pelvic floors pulling in. Last one. And releasing down. Come into a downward dog position. So you want your hands about shoulder width, and you're just going to place your heels on the softball. So just get yourself in that position first. You've got your head in between your arms, and your heels are just slightly lifted. And you want to make that nice sort of V, upside down V shape, mountain shape. And we're lifting up the hips and we're taking the chest towards the knees. You might need to bend the knees. That's great. If not, you're kind of thinking about stretching the backs, the legs, the hamstrings. So you're going to try and really straighten through the backs of the legs while sort of bringing the chest towards the knees. Now, if you want more of a challenge in this stretch, take all of your feet on the ball. So you've not got your feet on the mat at all. It's a bit more work into balance. You might have to self-adjust your hands, but you're still trying to get your upside down V shape. Stretching the backs of the legs, lifting up the hips, chest towards the thighs. Just a couple more breaths. Working into that downward dog. And then just slowly release, bend the knees, bring the knees down. So our next one, we're going to work with the swimming move. So tuck your ball underneath, in between your calf muscle and the back of your leg, your hamstring. Your hands underneath your shoulders, spread your fingers, soften the elbows. Draw in the core and find your neutral spine. So if you need to do a little cat, cow in there, find neutral, tuck your tailbone in. Knees are hip width, core's pulled in, and then what we're going to do is going to just squeeze the ball in here and then lift up that leg, that bent leg. See if you can get the knee up level with the hip and then bring it back down. Breathing out, lift. Breathing in there. It's a lovely kind of glute activation move. You'll feel it straight away, glutes and hamstrings. Breathing out, lift. Keep pulling in the core. Try not to pelvic tilt in this move. 4 more. And 3. And 2. and 1. Slowly release. Bring the ball now underneath the other foot. So kind of front of the foot, front of the ankle. Dorsiflex with that foot, so just flexing the ankle. So same position with the hands under shoulders, knees under hips. This time you're going to straighten the back leg, squeezing that glute lift. Opposite arm, lift. Just go for a couple of breaths and just squeezing that glute. Core's drawn in. Slowly release back down. Let's go again. Breathing out. Lift. And lower. And lift. And lower. Really working through the glutes now. Squeezing that lifting glute, that lifting leg. Drawing in the core. 3 more. And 2. And last one. Slowly release it back down. Switch it over, so we'll go on the other side now. So, squeeze the ball to begin with, between calf muscle, hamstring. Soften the elbows. If you're struggling on your wrists a little bit, you can always come down onto your elbows there. Spread the fingers. Knees hip width apart. Core pulled in. Tap the tailbone in just ever so slightly, and then breathing out, lift. Perhaps work with a dorsiflex, so keep that ankle flexed. Breathing out, lift. And then you're just going to see if you can get your knee up level with your hip. Lovely stretch for the quads, the front of the legs, this too. Keep drawing in the core, try not to pelvic tilt. 4. 3, keep breathing. 2. And last one. Release that back down, take the ball underneath the other foot. Dorsiflex, a little bit of a flex in there. So same move we did before. Straighten that leg, squeezing that glute, and then just see if you can lift the opposite arm. The ball kind of gives you a little bit of instability there, so it's a good balance move. Keep breathing. Slowly release it back down. Let's go for 8. Squeezing that glute. And 7. Drawing in the core, try not to pelvic tilt. 6. And 5. And 4. 3. 2. Last one. Slowly release back down. Just sit back towards the heels. Sit back on the ball if you want. Kind of gives you a little bit more lift. Reaching forwards, take the child's pose. See if you can get the full head down on the mat. Just send some breaths now into that lower back. Bring the elbows down. So from here we're going to work into the swan dive. So coming down my front, I've got limited space here, so my feet might go under the sofa. So I'm going to place the ball, the bottom of the rib cage, the top of your tummy, so just above your tummy button really. Elbows are underneath your shoulders, and you're not going to hyperextend with your neck here, so your eye gaze stays down, and you're just gently pressing into the hands, into that sort of mini cobra position. Bring that back down, and again, breathing out into that lift, and coming back down. You still want to draw in the core, still pulling in pelvic floor, still pulling in that transverse abdominis. And then notice what your shoulders are doing, so try and keep your shoulders down and back. You might just get a little bit further in the stretch each time. 2 more. Last one. Lowering down, moving the ball now, coming forward slightly. Just find a comfortable position. So it's going to be around the chest area, mid-ribs. So here we're going to lift up arms now. So you still need to pull in this core here, so don't let the core drop down towards the mat. Tuck the tailbone in just slightly and pull in the core. So it's breathing out, it's lift, elbows, lifting arms. And you get that little bit of a squeeze in the shoulder blades. If you want a bit more, then next breath, breathing out, reach. So if you can get your hands higher than your heads. Bring it back down, hands down to the floor. Breathe out, lift like a cactus arms here. If you want more, breathe out, lift, extend. Back to cactus and down. And lift, keep drawing in the core. And extend. And lower. Lift, really squeeze those shoulder blades together. Reach. Oh, this feels so good. 3 more. Breathing out, lift, shoulders are back. And reach. 2 left. Try not to hold the breath. And releasing back down. So take the ball as far as you can now. So let arms are straight. My legs are disappearing. So just place your palms on top of the ball and hover the arms up off. And you can, thinking about your shoulders here, they're probably reaching forwards on this moment. And what we're going to do is just take the shoulders back, roll the ball towards you and look forwards. And then roll the ball away, the shoulders come forwards. And then the head can come all the way down. Still pull in the core. So it's left. And then coming away. Breathing out left. So if you want a little bit more with this, add in a little flutter kick. So I should show you here. So legs straight. So as you do your lift, your shoulders come back. Just start bringing in that flutter kick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, down. Squeeze the glutes, try and keep the legs straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, down. You feel the lower back now. Lengthen. And then strengthen. Keep breathing. Lift for 4. And lower for 4. And lift for 4. And lower for 4. Last one, lift. And lower. Slowly release, let's stretch that out. Sit back towards the heels again. This time the ball's in front, so place your palms on the ball. Head down towards the floor and perhaps just a little wiggle side to side. Trying to get the hips down. Bum down towards the heels. Send the breath down towards the lower back. So next we're going to go on our side. So we're going to start with kind of sitting up on our sides. You've got that sort of M shape with your knees in front of you. If you're a bit tight in the hips, you might just want to wait a moment. Lean forwards and just wait a moment, let the hips adjust with that position. Bringing in the ball, hand on the ball. Lift up your shoulders, take your shoulders back, lift at your chest. Draw in the core. And you're going to just roll your hand on the ball now. Roll the ball away. Other hand goes up towards the ceiling. Take it over onto your lat stretch, looking up. And then recenter. So we're working a little bit deeper into the sides. And then left. Breathing out into that stretch across. You might feel that in strengthening You're sort of laterally on your shoulders, outsides of your shoulders. So if you want a bit more, you've got the space. As you go over, you're going to lengthen out that top leg. Stretch it over. If you want more at the top end, hover, bring it back, hamstring stretch. So we're going over, lat stretched, hovering the top leg. You can engage here, so you feel the glute med working, side of the bum. Coming back, hamstring stretch. You can rock back a little bit into that hamstring stretch. And over. Lift, take the shoulders back. Last one. Core pulled in. Coming forwards, lat stretch, hamstring stretch. Slowly release, lowering down them. So, take the ball underneath the, kind of inside the armpits, underneath the shoulder. Now, you want your hips in line with your shoulders, so you might need to adjust that, and your feet in line with your hips. Keep your knees down, totally relax your legs. Draw in the core. Imagine we're holding on to something here. Perhaps a little baby hedgehog. Breathing out, take this hedgehog up over the body. And you're going to get this twist in the upper back and coming across. You keep drawing in the core all the time. So if it's a bit sore in your neck, you can always bring the hands a bit closer together and maybe don't go so far into that stretch. Just a little way. Or you could go hands behind the head, so you're supporting the neck into your stretch there. So just finding out the right way for you. Keep pulling in the core, it's such a good stretch this. The ball kind of adjusts a little bit out the position. Sometimes traps your hair as well if you've got long hair. 2 more. Rolling into that ball. And last one. And slowly release. So your next one, your side plank. So elbow under shoulder, and we're going to bring the ball just below your hip bone, just below there. Try and line yourself up, use the front of the mats. Draw in the core. Watch your rib cage here, so keep your shoulders back, lift at your chest. So we could leg lift with one foot down. Kind of working on toning the outside of the leg, the glute med strengthening. Keep pulling in the core. So if you want a bit more than just your leg lift there, take it in a hover, so both feet lifted. So we're suspending off the floor, then leg lift. If you want a little bit more, it's a balance. So with the hand up towards the ceiling, behind the head. Working into that leg lift. Now keep drawing in the core, and you start sort of feeling it in the glutes. The back of that glute med, you feel that. Whew. Should we go 8 more? Let's go 8, 7, it's burning, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release it down. Take it into the side climb, so ball between the feet. Flex the feet here. Lift the ball up a little bit higher than the hip, so you tilt your top hip forwards. Draw in the core, lift the top knee and lower. Head down if you want, or if you want to lift. Keep pulling in the core. Again, it's all working that glute med around the sides. Quite important for runners, walkers. So just notice as well what your feet are doing. Try not to let your feet kind of collapse around the ball. Think about the arches underneath the feet. You might be feeling that now. 8 more. Breathe out left. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten out the legs. It's a double leg lift, so breathing out left, breathing in lower. Same kind of muscles working here, but it kind of works a bit more into the lengthening of them. Hands behind head just gives you a little bit more work into balance. Keep drawing in the core. Thinking about the feet as well, don't let them collapse around the ball. Perhaps flexing them might help there. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that back down. Bring the ball up towards your hand. A little bit of pressure into the ball. It's quite a nice move on the shoulder there. You can bring the head down. Side kick. So pick up the top leg, flex the foot. Breathing out, kick forwards. Point the toe, bring it back. Just pressing in as we kick forwards. And coming back. See if you can ease now your hamstrings. Backs of your legs to 90 degrees. Try and keep that foot up at hip height. 4 more. Just breathing out into that stretch. Keep the core pulled in. 2 more. Releasing the hamstrings. Last one. And release. So now we're going to go on to the other side. So first of all, finding that M shape with your knees. Might be tighter on one side more than the other. So give yourself a little bit of time for your hips to adjust. So we started off with the lat stretch on the other side. So hand goes on the ball. Breathing out, other hand comes up over the head. You're rolling your forearm on the ball. Over. And bring it back. Watch the rib cage. So shoulders back, lift at the chest. And recenter to keep drawing in the core. Strengthening the shoulder. And lift down again. Got that add in if you want it, that top leg stretches out. Just give myself a little bit more space. Top leg stretches out. Slide the other hand on the ball. Bring it in, rock back. Hamstring stretch. Coming forward slightly. Slide that leg straight, other arm over. Core's pulling in. Rock back, hamstring stretch. And again, forearm onto the ball. Keep pulling in the core. Coming back, rock back. 2 more. Such a good move this. Releasing all around the hips and the shoulders. And last one in the hamstring stretch. Then we went into that upper body twist. So the ball goes sort of underneath the armpit. Your legs are still. Stack the hips, stack the knees. Draw in the core. And then we went baby hedgehogs. Take them over the body into the upper body stretch. Coming back down, just take your time breathing out. If you're struggling, your neck's a bit sore, reduce, not so far, hands behind the head, support the neck. Check that you're pulling in pelvic floor. Your legs are relaxed. Your hips aren't moving here. 3 more. And 2 left. Might go a little bit further each time as you go over. Coming back down, then we went into that side plank, so ball underneath, just a little bit lower than the hip bone. Get yourself set up. Think about your rib cage, your shoulders back, lift at your chest. Then it was that leg lift. You could leg lift and balance. Draw in the core. If you wanted a bit more, it was that hover and leg lift. Keep pulling in the core, and then it was the balance if you want a little bit more on top. Try and keep your shoulders relaxed. Starting to feel that a little bit now. Let's go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Coming off the ball into side plan. So bend the knees. Ball between the feet. Flex the feet. Lift the ball up higher than the hip so that top hip tilts over. Breathing out, lift. Breathing in, lower. Still working with the glute med, should feel that. Notice what's happening with your feet. Check the arches aren't really collapsing. Hold a little bit of tension in your feet. Keep drawing in the core, particularly the transverse abdominis on that one. Let's go 8, 7, keep breathing. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten out the legs, hands behind the head. Flex the feet, don't let the arches collapse. Breathing out, lift, double leg lift, and lower. Breathe out, lift, down, lower. Really great, toning all around down the legs, the sides, around the hips and the glutes. Draw in the core. Should we go 4 more? 4, 3, keep breathing. 2, 1. Then we went into that side kick. Hand on the ball, a little bit of pressure into there. Bring your head down, relax your neck. Flex that top foot. Lift it up at hip height. Kick forwards. Point the toe, bring it back. Breathing out as you go forwards. Feel that hamstring release. As you kick forwards, gently pressing down into the ball. Try and keep that foot up at hip height. Feel the stretch at the back of the leg. Let's go 4, 3, 2, last one. And release. Sit on the ball. Feet, knees are hip width apart. A little bit of a roll here. So pull in the core. Find the C shape with the lower back. Rolling the lower back down towards the ball. Draw in the core, lifting back up. And then again coming down. And then lift. Try and use your core more than kind of pressing in with your feet. And you can always bring your hands down if you're struggling with that one. So breathing out, C shape, coming down, breathing in, lift. As you lift, you're just trying to get really tall. And then C shape coming down. Lift, getting tall. Thinking about your shoulders coming back and that lift on the chest. Should feel that working with the core, tummy muscles. 3 more. Last one. So from here, one leg straight, one leg bent. Start with your hands down, just so if you can lift that straight leg, it's just hovering. It's kind of starting to think about your hip flexors. Pull in your core now. If you want a little bit more, you can have a nice long arm down towards that to the side of the long leg. Other arm up. So we're working with a balance here. Now the challenge is to swap that over without touching the floor with your hands. So swap the legs. And again. Working with the balance, keep pulling in the core, use your pelvic floor. Pull in that transverse abdominis. Just think about your chest here, so get that little bit of a lift. Take the shoulders back. Think about posture. Keep breathing. Two more. Swap. And last one. And then we're just going to bring the ball underneath the lower back. So put your bum on the floor. Knees, feet are still hip width. We're going to press into that ball. You might need to self-adjust where it's going to go. So pressing in, draw in the core and lifting out. Pressing in, pull the core in and lifting out. So we're not going as far as letting our shoulders go down. We're keeping a little bit of a C shape in the spine, in that pressing down. Breathing out, pressing down. And after about 5 or 6, you start really feeling that in the core because you're having to really pull the core in to press down into the soft ball. Try and keep the shoulders relaxed. Drawing in the core. Notice if the knees are pronating, so just try and keep the knees up hip width. Keep breathing. We're going to add in a little bit of this to this. So we're going to bring in the obliques. So salute with one hand. Twist, elbow goes down towards the mat, lifting out. Salute other hand, twist, elbow down. Just opens out the chest on one side. Just keep pulling in that core, especially on that left. Notice what the knees are doing. Check the knees aren't pronating in. 4 more. And 3. And 2. And last one. And coming out. So we're going to start putting some of these things together. So squeeze the ball between the knees. So we're going to see if we can come all the way down. Arms overhead, take a full body stretch with the arms. You could circle around or just bring them straight back. Slide the hands up towards the ball, squeeze the ball. Lifting back up and out. And again, it's coming down. Arms overhead. Slide the hands up, squeeze the ball, lift. Vertebrae by vertebrae here. Thinking about what the spine is doing. You want that nice C shape as you come down. And lifting out. If you want a little bit more, straighten the legs. Ball between the ankles. Breathing in, lift. You want that S shape, nice straight back. Breathing out, curl the spine. Reaching forwards, touch the toes. Breathe in, lift, upright. Breathing out, vertebrae by vertebrae coming down, circle around, full body stretch. Circle it all the way back round towards the knees. Squeeze the ball if you need to. And lift, and circle, touch the toes. And coming down. And circle coming up. Keep those feet flexed. Tying in with that breath. Just go last one. Circling the arms forwards, touch the toes. Breathing in on that left, breathing out as you come down. Arms over the head. Circling around, last one into your left. And slowly releasing out. So I'm going to come down now a little bit more with your abs. So we're going to just go ball underneath the head, underneath the back, the bottom of the skull, top of the neck, bend the knees. Just a little bit with the neck to start with. So just going to turn, look to one side, to go really gentle on this and put a little bit of push and pressure into the ball. Just looking and take the chin towards one side of the shoulder. Press into the ball, looking up. And then over to the other side. Chin towards shoulder. Press into the ball, look up. Gently, gently down to the other side. And then lift. A little bit of pressure. And down. Coming back to centre. So from here we're just going to think about posture. So you're going to have a little pelvic tilt, find neutral spine. Now pull in your pelvic floor. Pull in your transverse abdominis. And then keeping your hips still, so you might want to put your hands on your hips. Hip width with your feet and your knees. You're going to slide one heel away and then bring it back up. And then onto the other side, slide, bring it back. And you just keeping an eye on those hips. You're pulling in the core. Check that you're not holding your breath. If this doesn't feel comfortable with your neck, you could take the ball out of there, that's fine. Put your head down on the mat. So that's your first layer. If you want a bit more, we're going to go tabletop. So imprint a little bit here, so a little bit harder work on your core muscles. Imprint the lower back down towards the mat. Take your tabletop position. Then from there, it's almost like a heel slide. Just pressing one heel away and back to center. Try and hold that tabletop position with the other leg as you alternate. So a little bit more if you want it. Take the ball into your single leg stretch. So this ball's going to come across to the bent knee. So we're lifting head and shoulders, taking the ball across to the bent knee and center. And you're still thinking about keeping those hips still. And across, drawing in the core. Breathing out. Still pulling in the core. Let's go 4 and 3 and 2 and last one, and release it back down. Just take the ball between the knees, a little bit of a squeeze on the ball, a bit of inner thigh, a little bit of a squeeze. Arms up towards the ceiling. Turn the thumbs inside, palms outside. Lift the shoulders up off the mat, keep the head down. Reverse it back around, press the shoulder blades in. Let's go again, lift, keep the head, the neck down. It's just a little shoulder release. And 2 more, lift. Still engage the core. And lift. And lower. So, keep the shoulders down and back, take the palms out. But without the lift, arms over the head. If you've got the space, circle all the way around the body back towards the knees. Let's go again, arms over the head. Circle that around. So it's just a little gentle kind of stretching on the chest. And circling around. Let's go one more. If you want to stay with that, it's such a good move. Stay with that. If you want a bit more, we're lifting up to tabletop, so imprint that lower back. As the arms come over the head, we're straightening out the legs, the double leg stretch. Circle around. Breathing out. Still trying to work with that imprint. So if you want a little bit more than that, you go ball between the feet. Slightly changes the feel on the hamstrings. And lift. And knees bent, tabletops. Double leg stretch, lift. And you're thinking about your imprint here. You want that same amount of imprint that you used on your single leg stretch. So keep pulling in the core. 4 more. Breathing out into that full body stretch. 2 left. Last one. And just finishing that full body stretch. Perhaps point your toes and really imagine you're here, you're a piece of celery. Squeezing your glutes. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. So from here, just bring the ball between the knees. Arms out to the sides and breathing out, let both knees drop across to one side. And then over to the other. So you can bring the neck so you can look in the other direction to your knees. You should feel that there's a bit of a chest stretch in there. Lower back release. You might want more. So tabletops. Drifting across and then lengthen out to the corners. Tabletop. Coming across just before you feel like you're going to drop to the floor, out to the corners. Another option, ball between the feet. Again, it's just a little bit different on your hamstrings. Perhaps flexing the feet in here. Then in the middle, working the imprint in the middle. Lengthen out to the corners, keep the core pulled in. Palms up, keep stretching through the chest. Breathing out into your stretch. Oh, such a good one, this. 3 more. Should really feel that lengthening the back of the legs. Last one. Coming back down to center. So next we're going to put the ball between the knees and we're going to work with the pelvic floor into a shoulder bridge. So just start pelvic tilt. So just start really slowly with the pelvic tilt. Imagine you've got a marble on your tummy, you're rolling that marble forwards and back. It's almost like a massage for the lower back. That might be enough, okay? So you might feel really good just doing that. If you want more, roll and then lift at the hips. And there's a few options. You could bring the arms up over the head here. You could circle them around, you could link them underneath. I'll leave it up to you. In that lift, really squeezing the glutes. That again might be enough. That might be enough in that. If you want more from here, see if you can straighten one leg, but keeping the hips still. So it's a real good glute activation move. So squeezing the glute, straighten the leg and alternate. Try and keep the ball in position. Keep squeezing. It's a lower back move as well. Try and keep the shoulders relaxed. Length at the back of the neck. Breathing out. Lengthening. 3 more. And 2. Last one. Just slowly bring the arms back over, lowering the lower back down. Just bring the knees towards the chest, just a little circle or a rock side to side. From here, then let's see if we can rock up to that hovered teaser shape. So we're not taking the feet down towards the mat. Let's do a couple of them. So we rock back, rock up, hover. Pull the core in, rock back. Rock up to that hover, and that top point, you've got your shoulders back, chest lifted. C shape, rock back. Lift. And last one, C shape. Shoulders relaxed on the rock back. And lift the chest. So let's work with the teaser now. So you can take ball between the knees or ball between the feet, up to you. Working hip width. Just see if we can straighten out the legs. I'm holding here underneath the hamstrings. So see if we can straighten out and then work that straight back, shoulders back. If you can, you're going to let go of your legs and just keep pulling, working in, pulling in the core. Keep breathing. And slowly release that back down. So now we're going to go ball underneath lower back, so lowering back down. Just lift at the hips. Place the ball underneath the lower back. Sort of just, you'll find the right spot, it'll feel comfortable, but you've got your hip bones, and then if you follow that around, should come towards sort of the centre of the ball. But again, it just feels right, so you feel right because you can find neutral spine when you pull in your core. Knees, feet hip width, shoulders relaxed. Lift one leg to a sort of a raised tabletop. Bring it back down. Swap sides. And you're just going to try and do this without wobbling too much. So going back to thinking about the hips. And you're pulling in the core. Try and keep that hip width position. So if you're managing to do this and you're staying in neutral spine, you want a bit more, one leg to tabletop, pull in the core, keep with neutral, so find neutral. Other leg to tabletop, we're in that raised tabletop. Then toe tap down from here. Breathing out, toe tap down. And again, this might be enough. You might want to stay with this if you want a little bit more. One hand up towards the ceiling, working with these toe taps. Or you could try both hands. You could go a little bit kind of faster, a bit more on alternating with your toe taps. Other option, you could kind of move your arms, so opposite arm to leg. Keep moving and keep breathing. I keep drawing in the core. Stay in neutral spine. Keep that hip width. Let's go 4, 3, 2, 1. Just bringing the feet down, have a little rest in there. Last couple of moves then, so take both feet up towards the ceiling. Flex the feet, I don't know if you can see in my video, I'll try and just about see. And we're going to open, so flex the feet, open the legs, and then draw them together. So flex, open, point the toes, come back together. Flex and open, point the toes back together. So you're just going to feel that inner thigh, getting a nice little stretch in here. If you want more. Flex, open, and then circle round and down towards the floor and come back to centre. So open and flex, point the toes, circle round, back to centre. 2 more. Of course, needs to be pulled in on that one. Circle round and back. Great, so place the feet down. Take a hamstring stretch from here. So just one leg. So what can you get hold of? Maybe hamstring or maybe higher, the calf muscle. You can either flex the foot, get a little bit more working through the central hamstring. Notice what's happening with the other knee, so try and keep the other knee in line, it's not turning out too much. Your hips aren't kind of twisting or turning round. Just hold this stretch, just go 15 seconds. If you wanted to really work into your hamstrings, you maybe want to take your stretch 3 to 5 minutes. So you could pause your video here, stretch for a little bit longer. Then we're going to swap legs, so straighten out that leg, flex the foot. Watch what's happening with this other knee, what's happening with the hips. You can still draw in your core, find your hamstring stretch, pushing away behind the knee. Hold for 15 seconds, try and keep the back of the neck relaxed, released. So we're going to use those nice straight legs that we've just stretched. So both legs up towards the ceiling, flex the feet, point one of the toes, coming down to a scissors and coming back up. And then point the toes, bring it down, and flex, bring it back. This is lovely for lengthening out the stride. Drawing in the core. So you like this, you want a bit more, you could work a bit faster through here, take the palms up, try and keep the shoulders relaxed. Let's go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bend the knees, bring the feet down, perhaps going to the side or just lifting, take the ball out from underneath the lower back, slowly lowering down. Last move I'm going to give you today, and that's all gone funny, is you push up. So knees onto the ball, hands underneath your shoulders, spread your fingers, and then just see if you can take a balance here. So bring the feet off the mat. So pull in the core, try and stay in neutral spine if you can. So that might be enough. You might just want to work that balance. You might want to bring the feet down and go push up from here. The full motion that I'm going to give you is lift the feet up, roll the ball up the top, up from the knees towards the thighs, bend the elbows, come down into your push-up, rolling it all the way back up. So really good full body move to finish on. Coming all the way down, coming all the way out. Now I've got my toes pointed there because it really helps to get that connection all down through the body. Rolling down, cores pulled in. You can really squeeze the elbows here, squeeze the shoulder blades together. It's a really nice full body. Let's go 4. Breathing out 3. And 2. And last one. Coming back up. I hope you've enjoyed softball today. Have a good day.